Welcome to this training video on how to manage your channels individually in your LeavErt calendar. Next to each room type name, you have a link icon. Click the link icon and it will drop down all of the channels that are linked to that specific room type. You can close out an individual channel by simply coming to the channel row, selecting the date and clicking Close Out. Of course, you can reverse this by clicking it again and clicking Open. If you would like to do bulk updates, you can hold down the Control key while you select all of the dates that you wish to close. You can also click your first date, hold down the Shift key and select your last date. Finally, we have our Global Change tick box option. If you check the box, it will give you the option to select the days of the week or select all. Click Select and it will highlight everything that you have open. Select the feature that you wish to use, in this case Close Out, and it will close out the entire month that we have open. Once you are happy with your changes, ensure you click the Save Changes button. To reverse, we simply check the box, click Select, and click Open again. You can set a close to arrival and close to departure. However, not all channels will support this feature, so it is important to take note of which channels do which option. If we click the date and apply the close for arrival, we can see that some channels simply close the date out as they are unsupported. We have other channels which do support the feature, and you can see the close for arrival icon in the corner. We then have some channels which do not support this feature at all. So if we come across to the channel and we hover over the name, we can see that the close for arrival and close for departure needs to be managed on their site manually. This means that you would need to log into Huru and set the close for arrival and departure on their extranet. The same applies for a close to departure. If we set a close for departure, not all channels support the feature, so it is important to note what they do. So for example, some channels will close out the day before, some channels do support the feature, and then other channels do not support it at all, and you need to manage it on their extranet. You also have the option to manage your availability manually by using our dist control button here. You can only use this on a channel level, so you will need to select the dates for that specific channel first, click your dist control yellow button, and we now have three options that we can choose from. So we'll start with the buffer option. This means that it will hold back the number of rooms at any one time. So if we set this to 2, it is holding back our last 2 rooms from this channel. So we can see that for this date our total availability is 8, however this channel is only receiving 6. For our cutoff option, we select our dates, click our dist control button, and type in the number of rooms for our cutoff. Now, a cutoff means that once the availability drops below that number, that channel will be sent 0. So for example, if we have set this availability to 3, the channel is now being sent 0. However, for this date, they are getting the full availability until it drops down to below that number. Finally, we have our max allocation. So if we select the dates that we wish to apply, click our dist control button, and we have max allocation. This is the maximum number of rooms that can be sent to a channel at any one time. We type our number in and click Save. So as we can see that here we have a total availability of 8, however this channel is only receiving 5 at one time. Should they book a room or 2, they would then be topped back up to 5. If you wish to manage just one channel at a time, you can click on the Filter Channels button, which will give you all of the channels that you have been linked to. You can then select a specific channel, and it will only display that one channel on its own. You can remove this by unchecking all, and it will bring back all of the channels again. Now we come down to our rate control section. So you can override the rate on a specific channel by using our Derive button. So if we click down the link icon to drop down all of the channels, we select the dates on a specific channel where we want to override the rate, and then we click our Derive button. Here we can apply an addend and a multiplier. So for example, if we wanted to send 10% higher to that specific channel, we type in 1.10 and click Save. We can now see that there is a multiplier applied to this particular date, and the rate is now changed to 220. You can also apply a dollar value rather than a percentage. Select your dates, click Derive, and then type the dollar value into the addend section. So for this example, we will do minus $30, click Save. So we can see that it is now removing $30 from the original rate. You can also close out a channel on a rate level. Once again, select your dates and click Close Out. If you wish to remove the closeout, just simply select the dates and click Open. Finally, our last feature that we can apply to channels on a rate level is our set floor. Select the date that you wish to update, type in the floor rate that you wish to apply, and click the set floor amount. So we can see that we have a set floor in the corner here, but it is not currently active. If we change these rates to something lower than our floor, all of the channels will receive the $90 and your booking engine, unless of course they have a different price applied. But our channel that has a floor rate will only receive the $100, which is our very base rate. The set floor option is a really good safety net, especially if you have multiple staff making changes on the calendar and you don't want to run the risk of a channel receiving a lower rate than you would like. If you are applying a minimum length of stay override on the calendar, please ensure that if this rate is connected to channels, you will need to check which channels support the feature and which do not. For example, if we apply a minimum length of stay override on these dates, and we type in 3 and click Set MLOS, we then need to drop down the channels to see which ones are supported and which ones are not. So obviously the one that is not doesn't have anything at all in the cell. So we come across to the Lido channel, hover over it, and it tells us that we need to manage the minimum length of stay by date on their site manually. Other channels that do support the feature will have the number in the top corner. Other channels, again, which do not support the feature, will simply close the date out. So you will be able to see by what is in the actual cell individually. You can also come up to our Channel Updates button, which is in your top right corner. This will list all of the channels that you are connected to and the features that you can apply on the calendar and what the channel does. If you are unsure what these mean, it also has the legend which will explain it in more detail. If you are having any troubles with updating your channels on the calendar, please do not hesitate to contact our support team, who are only more than happy to help.